well-being is a reflection of mindset, and that's the motto behind Authentically Erin Coop, helping you spark innovation and level up leadership in your industry.
They're now celebrating 5 years of teaching, training, and guiding leaders on emotional awareness and mindfulness in the workplace. Erin Coop joins us with more. Welcome, Erin.
Thank you.
Okay, so it sounds like you do a lot of personal and professional development through your company, and this is after years of working, in professional corporate environments. So tell us, is it a little bit like life coaching?
You could maybe say that. What I really call it is mindset development and personal and professional growth. So many people have the self-awareness where they can maybe start to practice something that's going to make a difference in their daily lives, but they just don't know exactly how to enact that or how it's going to make a change for them. So I give people those tools that anyone can practice. There's no set demographic. You don't have to be male, female, and a certain ethnicity, a certain age. This can apply to anyone, but it really does make a difference in how you show up for yourself and for other people.
Okay, so you were in the corporate world, as G said, for 17 years, is that right?
That's right.
How did you pivot and decide, hey, this is something that were people nasty in the world? Like, you're like, they need help. How did you decide to kind of make that change?
Yeah, so I'll tell you, I saw the good, bad, and the ugly,
Yeah.
right? And corporate is a great place. I did very, very well there. It can also be a pretty hard place to be, because a lot of times what I noticed in myself mainly, but certainly in others, is that I could be my own worst enemy. And I could make up stories in my head about all the things and all the people and all the potential clients and the work and the workload, my own worst enemy. So what happened for me is I had a sort of aha moment where I started to question what I was thinking in my own mind and why. What is it that was making me feel a certain way, and then shift my behaviors, perhaps in a way that I wasn't proud of. Would I treat someone in a certain way that I was afterwards sort of, questioning myself? Or would someone treat me some way where I would question them? And so it really got me so interested in how we behave as human beings.
So this advice that you give people and your clients, I mean, is this stuff that works because it worked for you on a personal level, and then you decided, okay, this is working for me, so I'm going to take this to other people?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
I sort of had searched, I had done every personality test in corporate America and all the trainings that go with that, because that was a part of my development when I was in that world. But I had searched everywhere long and hard for what is going to make a difference for me. How am I going to get to know myself better so that I can be a better leader, a better mother, a better partner, all of those things, better to myself. And it was really those practices that I started to develop and sort of master. A lot of it is sort of self-mastery. When I felt like not only did I know these practices so well, but they were a part of my life, I embodied them, then I started to talk about them. And that's where people were going, gosh, this is interesting. Can you teach me? Can you tell me more? And that's where the idea for doing this for a living came from.
Do you feel like there's a shift in corporate America where they're accepting these ways to help employees now? Because I feel like that was never a thing.
It wasn't. It is so funny you say that. When I resigned in January 2020 to launch this full time, half the people that knew me were like, wow, this is awesome. And half the people were like, you're going to do what?
Yeah. What is it?
Right? But I think what happened is during the pandemic, people had a little bit more time because they weren't commuting all the time. And they were starting to look inward. They were starting to question certain things in their lives, and maybe certain behaviors or mental things that were happening in their own minds. And that questioning is what leads people usually to wanting to make a change and wanting to either do better or be better or somehow be different.
So just give us a quick synopsis. I mean, specifically, what are some of the things that you recommend that people do? I know that meditation is one of them.
Absolutely, meditation. There's a lot of what I call mental awareness or mindset techniques. One of them that I love has to do with emotions. And you mentioned that in the trailer beforehand. Our emotions are not a bad thing, and it's very natural to experience a range of emotion. There's something called an emotion wheel. You can find this on the internet. It is so simple to be able to name your emotions on a granular level, but a lot of us don't have that vocabulary where we can be granular. It's just kind of, oh, I'm angry or I'm frustrated. Well, this allows you to give a very specific name to an emotion, and there's a couple of tricks. They really work, but you've got to practice them. First is, if you feel what is considered a negative emotion, I put that in air quotes because there's no such thing, but an emotion that's hard to feel, an intense one, like anger. Instead of saying, I am angry, you say, I feel angry. Because what you do is detach yourself from that emotion, and you allow it to move through you more quickly.
I
There's,
love that.
there's a neuroscientist, Jill Bolte Taylor. She's got a wonderful book that I read years ago, My Stroke of Insight. She teaches that emotion lasts 90 seconds if you're just with it. So saying I feel allows you to be with it a little bit longer, but not become it.
Erin, give it all the tips today.
Hand me that emotion wheel. Thank you so
I've
much.
seen them
I'll
for
carry this.
kids, but the adult
I
one
know.
scares me.
Yes.
Erin's got a lot more tips online. Head to erincoop.com. Of course, you can find her on Instagram, on YouTube. You've got a podcast coming up, so check out all that information there on your screen.
Love it.
Thanks so much for being
Thank you,
here.
Erin.
Thank you.